Hello everyone and welcome back to The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs, and today we are back with another create a pet experiment using the movie Balto as a base. And Balto was actually one of my sister's absolutely favorite movies growing up. I must have seen it 800 times because she would just stick it right back in to the VHS player. So many of you guys are probably too young to even understand what that word means. Oh my goodness. But basically, we watched the movie again and again and again and really grew up on it. And imagine my shock when I became older and I learned that the Balto of the Disney movie looks, acts, and has a history nothing like the real life Balto. So I just wanted to throw out there really quickly, the Balto we are making today is going to be based off of the Disney movie. But I am very excited to possibly return to making the real Balto inside of Sims 4 Create a Pet. Oh, just look at this. The Siberian Husky alone is really beautiful in the future. So today is going to be Disney's version of Balto, which is very dramatically colored and very distinctive. And we are going to also be creating Jenna. So we're going to make Jenna, who I thought was one of the most stunning dogs I had ever seen in a movie when I was younger. And we're going to see what their puppies in The Sims 4 would look like. Sure enough, there is Balto 2, Balto 3, and possibly even more of them that I am not aware of, where they already have their own puppies in the movie, but I want to see what their puppies would look like if we had Balto and if we had Jenna and we delve in to The Sims 4 Create a Pet. So with all of that said, I'm going to do my best to recreate Balto. We do not actually start out inside of the breed category with a wolf. If you type in wolf, it is only going to bring up Irish Wolfhound, which is very interesting. However, you can start with a Siberian Husky, which I feel is a little bit closer to being able to use a good wolf base. Or if you want to just jump over all of that and not spend a bunch of time finagling inside of Create a Pet, you can go ahead and open up the gallery, my friends. And you can go over to community, you can type in wolf, and you can take a good old look at everything that people have already made. Look at this. There's so many wolves already. There's Wolf Link even. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to favorite that one and I'm going to put it in my library because that is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. So if you are curious about what is going on in the bigger, wider world of creators and not just, I'm just a noob inside of Create a Pet. But if you really want to find some fantastic wolves, I highly recommend just going ahead and checking out what is on the community gallery because it is pretty awesome. And I would love to come in here and we might do some pet shopping. Look, somebody's already tried to make a maned wolf. Oh my gosh. So we might do some pet shopping, some pet, what would we call it? Like safaris. We might go on some safaris and we might search through and see what is happening inside of the gallery pretty regularly to try to spot the best coolest animals that we possibly can. Now, the wolf that I really like so far, let me see. This one's really good, actually. Look at this one from Free von Marzipan. And I like this one quite a bit. The neck is kind of long, but it's pretty cool. And the one that I really fell in love with is actually, Wolf Link is really cool too, is actually by Creative Kara. So I think this is a really good wolf base for if you want to do like a wolf dog and kind of mix them together. I really like it. Here, we're going to leave a nice comment because it's important to leave nice comments on creators things, guys. It really does more than you think. So we're going to go, great wolf. I love how beautiful he is. There we go. See, that's how easy it is to leave a nice little comment. So, ta-da! All right, this is the one I really enjoy, and you should go check out Creative Kara. I have no idea who they are, but I just really like their downloads because they also have a wild dog. How cool is that? Absolutely amazing. In fact, look how easy. Yay! Now we left another nice comment, and I'm gonna go ahead and save the wild dog too. It's just so cool, guys. I really love it. And there's even a hyena pack, but we'll go on our animal safari searching for animals in the future. For now, let's go ahead, dive in. I'm going to try my paws out on creating Balto and Jenna. Oh no. Okay, you guys, I have to admit, most of this episode was brought to you by the words, "Oh no, I'm sorry," because I tried so hard. Ah! No! Oh my gosh, I was gonna panic if I lost that. Oh my goodness, I tried so hard to get a better Balto. So we're gonna call this guy Balto version 1 because I really think that he doesn't look much like the movie Balto. He definitely has some of the traits, but he's definitely not quite what I would say is the representation of the movie Balto, the dog. So yeah, that was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be because picking a fur pattern and then picking a color was very difficult. I know it looks like, oh sure, some of these colors will totally be Balto, but then when you dove in with some of the colors to try to use them, they just didn't quite come off right. Like maybe this one could be Balto, but it's so green. Like it has so much more of a green hue, and then the more I fiddled around with it to try to like, okay, what if I make it a little bit more brown, and the more you kind of dragged it around, a tiny wiggle inside of, oh wait, maybe this color is more Balto. I kind of feel like this is more Balto, but see, now it's so it's just now it's too brown. Now it's too light brown, and Balto was really more of a darker brown dog. But you know what? Actually, I think maybe this will cure it. Okay, we're gonna give it one last little go. No, that's too much brown again. All right, what if we just like very lightly maybe darken the brown tone a little bit? Do you see how tricky it is? You really have to be very careful. And if we do just like a little overlay, I feel like this looks a lot more like Balto though. So you know what? He is definitely a mishmash dog on our end. I feel so bad because I've tried so hard to make him more of a proper Balto. See, and I feel like that now the brown's too strong. So let's really lighten up the opacity. And you really might have to do different layers of color and different opacity layers to feel like you get anything close to the dog that you were going for sometimes. But actually, I can't believe I've been fighting with this Balto for almost like half an hour. This is amazing. Actually, I feel like this is the closest I've gotten to making one that I feel looks somewhat like Balto. The colors are still a little bit off. It's definitely a lot harder to work with the colors than I thought. So instead of trying to pick a color and then like wiggle the color wheel, it might be in your best interest to do what I'm doing right now. Yeah, actually this looks a lot more like Balto. That's better. That's better. We can even come up over the eyes. We can come in with the brush. It might be in your best interest to just go ahead and set the opacity and then dive in. That's so much better. Oh my goodness. Balto, you look a little bit more like Balto now. Still not perfect. Still need to patch some things up here and there. But wow, okay. So that's only like I definitely need to practice my create a pet, but you're only going to get better at doing something, guys, if you practice. So I'm really excited that we practiced that. And then if I do this, does it help out? Just to make the colors a little bit better. This is really tricky for the colors on his chest and the colors. It's so hard because the colors that he has in the movie are a little bit more gray along here. It's very tricky. So basically the design is very simple on Disney's Balto, but the execution of actually making him look like Balto is a lot trickier. So I don't know if we really got much closer, but I definitely think the answer, if you're running into trouble with colors, is to jump in with the opacity and try that out, because at least you can get a little bit closer the more you fiddle around with it. And I feel like this looks a lot more like Balto, more of a brown wolf dog is what he's described as in the movies. But you know what's really going to make him look like Balto even more than the signature eyebrows and the big goofy face? It's going to be adding in that signature handkerchief. How could we forget the handkerchief? Because that was such an important part of the entire movie. Here, this one looks like the truest form of the handkerchief. I think the little paw one is really cute too, though, but that makes him look a bit more like a cowboy. Whew. All right, we're gonna call this one done. I don't think that he's really Balto, so we'll just gonna put down mixed breed. There we go. And then we're going to have his name as Balto. And we'll just go ahead and try making Jenna now. So this is my version 1 of Balto. Having created him, I feel badly for him, but I will say that we will try making version 2 in the future. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull up another dog now, and this time it's also going to be a Siberian Husky, because that is what Jenna in the movie is described as. I think she will be a lot easier to make, except for that signature super long nose, those more feminine features that are dramatically different than what you would find on a real animal that Disney kind of tucks in to signify gender in their movies. So, all right, let's see how long we can make this muzzle. There we go. Again, it's so much harder to make these pets and create a pet than I thought it would be, but I'm glad I have given it my very first try. I am definitely going to be giving it a lot more effort in the future, and we need to actually give Jenna a tail that goes swirl. There we go. Now she has a little swirl tail because that is definitely more like her, and we need to give her as well that really awesome red bandana. We will go ahead and let both Balto and Jenna have Balto and Jenna have these. Oh my goodness. And their designs are so simple, but surprisingly were a little bit tricky to actually end up with. But I'm pretty happy with what we have for my very first attempt at making Balto and Jenna. This is just after a few days of having created a pet, and we're gonna have to see how we do in the future. So Jenna is super loyal. Oh my goodness, of course she is. And she's also super friendly, so we need to give her that trait. And I feel like she is actually very smart because she really kind of could see past a lot of the prejudices that the other dogs have. So let's come over and we're gonna give Balto. Balto's extremely loyal. I also feel like he's extremely friendly, and I feel like the best thing, adventurous. That would definitely fit him. So I'm not 100% sure what I think of my very first Balto and what I think of my very first Jenna. But I kind of like them. It could be a lot worse, that's for sure. I mean, there's a lot that could have gone wrong in Create a Pet. So thank you guys for like wading through all of that, because I know what you guys are really here for. You want to see what happens when we take Balto and we take Jenna and we give them some puppies. So they do have puppies in Balto 2 and 3, as I have already mentioned, but we're going to go ahead and we are going to see what their babies, Jenna, those eyebrows, what their babies are going to look like. Oh my gosh, in Create a Pet. And this is one of the first little floofs. Oh my gosh, so cute. Hello, one of their sons. What would he grow up into? Kind of a good mix between the two, actually. I'm really impressed. Unfortunately, after a lot of fooling around inside of Create a Pet, I have learned that you can't really get the custom coats to mix layers. It's all or nothing on those custom coats, something I hope that potentially they'll be able to change in the future. I understand because they're painted, they just count as like one solid coat, but it would be kind of fun if like different sections sort of like blended opacity wise with each other. If that can never happen, c'est la vie. We can at least come in and we can change the dogs ourselves, like dogs and cats ourselves. Poor Balto, I totally mishmashed so much of his fur. I need to go in and fix that. But let's go ahead and see what the others would look like. So there's one young son. Let's go ahead and see their next child. No, no. I want to come in and I want to do play with genetics. And I want to go ahead and have another child with Jenna. This would be a daughter. Oh, wow. And look, her body type is totally different. So we would end up with this adorable little fluff ball who I really like. Looks just like Daddy again. So you got those apparently Balto's supposed to be like part wolfhound or like part wolf. And that's why, no, that's not how I wanted to do that. Okay, there we go. And let's add in a couple more puppies really quickly. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see if we end up with one that looks like Jenna. Jenna, I don't think that's what you're supposed to have in terms of puppies. Balto and Jenna. Oh, there we go. This one looks like Jenna. Oh gosh. And grows up to kind of have that mix between the two of them once again. That is so interesting. Balto's eyes, Jenna's face. Oh my goodness. I love the color too. Hi, little one. Gosh, you are a cutie. I really love that daughter that they had too. So they ended up with one that looks like Balto. Let's see, I think this is a sister. Yeah, one sister that looks like Balto, one sister that looks like Jenna. We have one that looks like Balto again. What a cute little family to begin with. We'll go ahead and throw in one more puppy just to see what would happen. This is what you would get if you just straight up came for sibling. And apparently that is one heck of a weird sibling, but we need to play with genetics. So if you want that, you come up here. There we go. And we're going to mix Balto and Jenna again. And we're going to randomize. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh! And you end up with a son that looks like Jenna, but has Balto's thin, fast body. That is so interesting. All right, guys, so there's the answer to what you get if you put together Balto and Jenna. You can have quite the variety in fur types as a result. This little guy, oh, and you can even change it to fox voice. Ah, that's so cute. That's so cute. So you can end up with quite the interesting family tree. I think it's pretty fun to see how the different physical characteristics like the ears, the tail, the face, the muzzle, all of that carry on from puppy to puppy. But I would really love to see if maybe somehow we as a community or we in the future would be able, oh, and actually this one doesn't look like Jenna, does it? Kind of looks like Jenna, but actually this is completely different coloring? Huh. Yeah, I think that this young one pulled up coloring from somewhere else because this is Jenna's coloring. What are you doing? How did your genes get into the family tree? So let me know how you guys are working with or maybe working around the way that the custom coats don't actually kind of mix with each other when you have bebés. And I would love to know what your favorite creation in Create a Pet is, or what animals we should try seeing what their babies would look like next. I can't promise they're going to be stellar, but I can promise I did my best with Balto, did my best with Jenna, and I actually think that their puppies are absolutely adorable. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.